Hey, Rabbit, can I have some too?
Silly kid, tricks are for rabbits.
Travis Wingutso, back from the weekly shopping trip. I'm lifting too much, more than I can handle. And I only had 1 gallon of milk because of last week's 5 gallons of orange juice. Alrighty. I went to go buy socks because I can feel my right toe has a hole in it, and so just to be prepared, I went to buy socks on Amazon. Socks aren't considered necessary by Amazon, and so they're not going to even deliver it until June, so I didn't buy socks. So yeah, the purchase of the DVDs was just in time because Amazon is back to delaying shipments as they obviously are getting more and more coronavirus cases and more employees protesting and refusing to go to work. And oh man. And so yeah, I saw today, an hour ago, for the 9 o'clock hour, Governor Herbert is endorsing Spencer Cox, his lieutenant governor, for governor in this Utah governor's election, gubernatorial race. And so it's clear that Herbert is working with the church to destroy Utah Mormons. As I gave you the numbers for today, our death rate percentage is skyrocketing day by day, and they're covering up the stats as they did a low testing but high case numbers, which was why they had low testing. So they reached their quota and surpassed it and immediately shut off the testing for the day. People are going out not wearing masks. I mean, come on, Mormons, don't be dumb. Don't sacrifice your lives for these beep holes. They want you dead. Don't give them the satisfaction. They are the Church of Lucifer. I've gone over this with you. I got out. Are you kidding me? In 2014, after the church had me disappeared, because I'm a translator. They wanted me silenced and disappeared because I am a threat to them. And so I got out. I knew I needed to be married in the temple to protect myself from a further attack that, sure enough, when she decided to divorce me, they came after me. Oh, I don't need this. I'm too tired to do this video. And so when I found out that let's see, it was 2015, so it was right before a conference when we got sealed, because it was October 1st and of 2015, and the signs had fulfilled themselves. The tetrad, the 4 total lunar eclipses with the deaths of 3 Mormon prophets right after the 3rd, which occurred on the morning of April General Conference 2015. And so obviously I couldn't tell Karen that the church is evil and that's why all these signs were occurring, and that the church was evil and that's why I had disappeared and gotten released, and why I'm here for her to marry. I couldn't tell her because she couldn't withstand the knowledge that the church that we had all grown up in was the Church of Lucifer. But she nevertheless was forced to divorce me by her family, by our bishop, by our landlord, not the landlord, but the company, by the West Valley City Police with Mayor Ron Bigelow. Everybody was ganging up on me to separate her from me so that they could attack me and come after me, because I resumed publication of translations again, showing that Joseph Smith was right. He is a translator, and the church wanted me dead, so the church loyalists all ganged up on me and got her to divorce me. And so after she divorced me, then I was free to now say, hey, the church is evil. This is why I'm being attacked, and etc., etc. And so here we are. And so of course she said, was it me? Am I the cause for your apostasy? She still doesn't get it. I point out the sign of Lucifer. She doesn't even know what that is. So I go, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I still want to trust the church. I still trust Nelson. And so I say, who's the cornerstone of our faith? Well, Jesus. Well, Nelson came out and said it's the church. The whole idol god, the church is the capstone or the cornerstone now. He said that, and I put the clip in this morning's video, and then he put Jesus Christ, the Christus, on top of the church. Jesus is now built upon the church as the cornerstone. Our faith in Jesus is in the church now, not in Jesus. I still trust the church. No. I mean, that's how brainwashed Mormons are. They don't see it. They don't get it. They don't. And so they lash out as Lucifer's soldiers, warriors, if we want to use Trump's term, for those who are dying with coronavirus. Mormons just lash out and attack me, as they've been doing, because that's Lucifer's church. Lucifer teaches this to his disciples, his saints, his demons, his members. That's why Mormons lash out like this. And so here we have Timothy, another Pauline gospel, 2 Timothy is talking about the last days and talking about the hearts of men growing cold, as Jesus said in Matthew 24. Know then also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And so he's talking about the nature and character of man in the last days, which is bringing about destruction of mankind by those who want us dead, who are the church of Lucifer, who are the kingdom of Lucifer, working together, side by side, to destroy mankind with this coronavirus that occurred in the time of Moses when he confronted Pharaoh. Moses said, "Hey, Israelites, people of the church, stay in your homes. Coronavirus is coming. Isolate in your homes. Do not go out. Do not go back to your lifestyles with the Egyptians. Don't do it. Stay home. Stay safe." Remember Governor Herbert started that? Now it's working. Go back and expose yourself and die. And so, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. Hell yeah, my parents are the parents of Lucifer. The servants of Lucifer. So yes, I was disobedient to them, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers. This is what the church and the Mormon agents all around me are doing. They're falsely accusing me. I've got Mormons on YouTube. "Oh, you're this and that," and falsely accusing me. And doing name calling. Ad hominem, as it's called on Wikipedia, of apologetics. Apologetic Mormons are using ad hominem attacks on those who say the archaeology does not show that the Book of Mormon is from America, or that the Book of Mormon plates are real from a little translation, and the history of the church is wrong. And so Mormons, instead of going, "Oh, wait a minute, no, this archaeology is no," they attack verbally. "Well, you're an ass, and you're this and that." It's being fulfilled with the Mormons. The Mormons are the ones fulfilling this. Incontinent, fierce, angry. Mormons are legitimately angry with me. I mean, the vile hatred in Mormons. They are fierce. They are sending me death threats. The lawyers for the church and the lawsuit I have against the church because they let me free. I'm coming at you. I got the evidence. You're toast. I should be winning, but the judge still hasn't signed it. But the church lawyers were in default by 24 days. That's an automatic win. It's a no-brainer for the judge. This delay is ridiculous. But her life is in jeopardy too if she sides with me, as she ought to because of the law. So she's choosing church over America. Despisers of those who are good. It's not that are good. That's a common error. In Greek, as well as in Hebrew, there is no distinction between items of neutrality. Well, Greek, Latin has neuter, but maybe Greek, but not in this case. There's a history, and I'm not going over it now. Traitors. Mormons are traitors. Remember, Joseph Smith said, "The Constitution will hang by a thread." What did he mean by that? The Book of Mormon. What did the Book of Mormon warn America? Kingmen are going to place a king on the throne of America. And Captain Moroni, title of liberty? What did he do to the kingmen as he had to go back to the main capital to leave the front to deal with the kingmen who were trying to take over the throne? And then eventually, later on, the kingmen did win with their joining of the secret combinations of Gadianton. And so this is the threat to America that Joseph Smith was warning about. America is going to have a king placed on the throne. And he will be like Pharaoh, where a coronavirus will occur. Ta-da! And so, yeah, are you Mormons saving the Constitution, or are you siding with those who want us dead? Protesting to go back to work, protesting not to wear a mask, and expose others to the virus and murder them. Whose side are you on, Mormons? Traitors is what you are, and Paul prophesied of it. Heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Oh, we want our lifestyles back before coronavirus. Having a form of godliness. Oh, you have to have the appearance. You have to wear clothing that covers your garments with the satanic symbols on your boobs. From the Scottish Rites Illuminati, guys. Having a form of godliness. Oh, I'm holier than thou. Awesome song by Metallica. Plus, they also have Better Than You. Better Than You. See, Metallica is awesome religious music. The Church of Metallica. Leper Messiah. And they have Creeping Death, referring to Moses and the coronavirus. I mean, every Metallica fan should make the connection with coronavirus. I mean, Utah had K-Bear. I don't know if they still have K-Bear or if they even have radio anymore, but K-Bear, every evening, on the dot, the Metallica hour. And so I know there are Mormons who love Metallica. You guys of all people should know this and make the connection. Creeping Death. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Doesn't it sound like Isaiah when Joseph Smith was talking to Jesus Christ with his first vision? That we're supposed to be celebrating the bicentennial year? They draw near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Paul says, from such turn away. Mormons instead shun those who will not join them in having a form of godliness, but denying the power of God. And what is the power of God for Mormons? Priesthood power. For of this sort are they which creep into houses, and lead captive silly women. It's not silly women. I adore silly women. They're fun. You have Samantha Bee and Full Frontal, and you have her cohort that's doing coronavirus episodes during the week. They're hilarious. There's the woman who gave the presidential press dinner thing, and everybody was upset with her. She's hilarious. Those are silly women, as I understand it, as I change the definition because of the incorrect translation. They're not referring to silly women, they're referring to whores and harlots, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. though I have heard Samantha Bee. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, Mormon women, they have in Ogden, in Salt Lake City, in Orem. I met a woman prostitute who was not a prostitute from Orem and had a kid and was trying to find a baby daddy for her kid. But that's what they used to do. They would cruise the main streets of the towns, and the guys, knowing this, so it's under the cloak of darkness, just riding your streetcars, and you drive a car, see somebody also doing the same cruising back and forth, and you say, "Hey babe, want to come back to my place?" The Orem girl, however, took the men to her place. "You didn't go to a hotel?" "No." "Aren't you worried that they know where you live?" Silly women. And so, yeah, that's how they'd hook up. And Utah women, or Utah girls, teenagers, are getting pregnant that way. Salt Lake City, or Salt Lake County, I think it's city, banned cruising on State Street. I don't know if Ogden still does this. They have been well known for having the highest rate per capita of sexually transmitted diseases. And then there's the Orem girl who said, "Yeah, we do it down there too." And then you had the BYU couple of kids, the kids that go to the BYU. Decades ago, it was reported that couples would head out to Vegas for the weekend, get married at the Elvis marriage hotspot and turkey fries or whatever, and then have sex for the weekend, and then on Sunday when they, or Monday, I guess, because Sunday is the Sabbath, they would get an annulment and then come back to BYU and resume their regular activities and studies. And so the church caught on to this and condemned it. But Mormons find ways to cheat the system to have silly women. But Paul keeps going for the latter days, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. I've gone over this. This is part of the brainwashing educational system that we have in our public schools as well as in the church. They want you to memorize, but they don't want you to learn how to learn. Because if you learn how to learn, you can decipher Paleo-Hebrew, for example. You can decipher Egyptian petroglyphs, for example. You can do medical studies that will help you identify a virus and figure out a vaccine. This is learning how to learn. Our school systems don't want this. They want you to know what they want you to know, and you memorize it. The SAT tests that Utah is having problems with their app with, all memorization. You have to memorize. You can't learn how to learn. Learning how to learn is like, okay, you're going into the medical field. We've given you the background information that you do have to memorize, which you learned in grade school, but in our society, it's not till college and university. Now we, in the ideal system, okay, now you're ready to be an apprentice on the job and get hands-on training. That is learning how to know the truth. And we just don't have that for the majority of fields. for the medical profession, there is something like that, but with this coronavirus, it exposed that we really don't. Because there were some universities that were saying, hey, you grad students who are in your final year, go help with coronavirus. You graduated. Good job. Why don't you do that with all of the med school? Give them hands-on training as they go to the front lines. And then when this is all over, you say, how many months, how many years, how many decades were you fighting coronavirus? Okay, that's worth so many credit hours towards graduation. So you only have to do this much for the specific field of medical school you're wanting to go into. Wouldn't that be simple and easy to do? Nope. Nope. They want money. Money, money, money. Money. And here comes the full circle. Verse 8. Now, as Jannes, and Jambres. Nobody knows who these guys are. They just say, oh, these are just names of people during, dun, 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 withstood Moses. Which Moses? The coronavirus Moses. Do you see what he's doing here? In the last days. Now, as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, he's doing a metaphoric comparison to the time of Moses and the coronavirus and confronting Pharaoh and the death of the firstborn so that Pharaoh has no heir to succeed him on the throne. Jesus in Matthew 24 said, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the latter days. Paul says, as in the days of Moses during the Exodus and coronavirus, so shall it be in the last days. Because so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. This is who the Jews are looking for, if you didn't know. They're not looking for Jesus of the Gospels. They're looking for a man like Moses. Here's the second confirmation. Jeremiah was the first, and he had 2 repeated verses. Man like Moses. Joseph Smith in section 103. Man like Moses will restore Zion. Section 85, verse 7. One mighty and strong shall replace the president of the church in verse 8, who dies as if like the shaft of lightning. This was prophesied, Mormons. It was prophesied that you would be evil. It was hoped by the one who wrote Moses that the members of the Mormon church would be righteous and stay home and stay safe. Oops. As of yesterday's reporting, we're at 90 dead. And somewhere around 15%, as I figured. 15% death rate. And it's rising. As Herbert is exposing you, telling you, hey guys, time to come out. It's working, so come on out. Coronavirus isn't gone yet. Moses had them stay until coronavirus was gone. Herbert is not Moses. Russell M. Nelson is not Moses. But wait, Doctrine and Covenants says that the president of the church is in the office like Moses. Yeah, he's the false Christ, guys. He's open church. They're not gonna give up their pride and say, oops, we opened too early. Oops, we opened up businesses too early. Oops, we downgraded too early. Too soon. Please go back home and isolate. Stay home, stay safe 2.0. Nope, they're not going to do it. The lieutenant governor himself was interviewed and said, no, we're not closing again if we get a resurgence. We're doing moderate step changes. They want you dead. And even Paul, who was not a 12 apostle, prophesied of it. That the Mormons would be corrupt.